Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Does anyone feel like they're always in a hurry? Like you always have to be doing something? That having a quiet weekend, well, it's just plain boring. Or maybe this is more like you. Getting work emails at the weekend makes you important. Makes your friends think you're some sort of big shot. And makes your boss think you're invaluable. Or that working late for the 5th time this week will eventually pay off. Because once you get that big promotion, you can cut back your hours. Really? Does that sound true to you? Well, I can't speak for you. Maybe you're a lot better at this than I am. Maybe you figured out how to balance everything perfectly. Here's what I've found. That feeling of importance, of always having something on, of never stopping, because let's be honest, there's plenty of time to rest when you're dead. It's exhausting. While I'm there, I'm never actually really there. When I'm running around doing things with my friends, I'm actually worrying about the next big problem at work. And while I'm at work, well, I'm just planning what I'm going to be doing with my friends. You can see how this is going to spiral. This way of thinking has caused me to burn out on more than one occasion. And I don't just mean be really tired. I mean full-blown body shutdown. Your ego is writing checks your body can't cash. Not enough energy to even pick up a spoon 2 days in bed. That's a big problem. But it's not the biggest one. The biggest problem with being busier is that something has to make way. So what will it be? It's not my work, because I've already put so much effort into that. And that's my future. It isn't my hobbies, because well, I've worked hard to afford them. It isn't my family or my friends. Can you see where I'm going with this? It's God. It always is God. Why? Because He understands. Because He gave me all these things that fill my time. Because He'll be there when I get back. Really? When I hear them out loud, they just sound pathetic. I know I'm not the only one that thinks like this. I'm not the only one stuck in this rut. Modern culture has twisted our way of thinking. It's made hurry and busyness good things. Well, they're not. If you can take one thing away from this talk, please let it be this. Rest is good. Being still for 1 minute is good. Missing out is good. To be honest with you, I really struggle with this. If you're looking for someone who's a victim of modern culture, he's talking to you right now. I'm an active person. I feel agitated if I stay still for too long, as you can probably tell from how much I'm twitching in this video. For all you other active people out there, that excuse just doesn't fly. There are 3 pillars to fitness or sport. The first 2 are commonly known, the third, not so much. Number 1, exercise. That's the one we all do, it's the one we all enjoy. Number 2, nutrition. It's the one we all wish we did, the one we all sort of leave to one side. Number 3 is rest. It's the one we all forget. To be better at your sport or your activity, you need to rest. It sounds crazy, it sounds counterintuitive, but trust me, listen to a podcast or a documentary about a sports person, I guarantee you they'll mention it. Or if you follow them on social media, you'll see how much they rest. God created it for us. We need it, our bodies need it. Let me take a different approach. Where in the Bible does it say to hurry in your walk? Find me one reference where it's a good thing. Can you ever imagine Jesus running or rushing to the next thing? If anyone had a reason to do it, it would be Him. Before you start thinking of excuses, I've already done it. I have a full-time job. Jesus doesn't understand that. Well, He was a carpenter. Can you ever imagine him skipping prayer time in the morning to get up earlier and make extra chairs? Or how about, I've got too much on right now? Really? Really? Like Jesus didn't, the Saviour of the world? Jesus quite literally walked everywhere. He took his time. He gave his time. He was always present. On the road to Emmaus, he didn't give a few bullet points and then rush off and leave those two. He went through all the scriptures concerning himself and spent the day with the 2 disciples. Or how about the character of God, of love, joy and peace? Do any of these things sound like hurry resonates with him? It's hard to love when you're in a hurry. Hard to be peaceful when you're rushing to the next thing. It's hard to have joy when you're not actually present in the moment. All these things are restful. You need a restful spirit to enjoy them. In Psalm 46:10, it says, "Be busy and know that I am God." And in 62:5, "Yes, my soul, find hurry in God, my hope comes from him." Of course it doesn't say that. Be still and know that I am God. Yes, my soul, find rest in God, my hope comes from him. Resting is good. It helps us gain perspective. It helps us to be present. It helps us to focus on bringing God into our everyday life. Don't get me wrong, you don't have to be a recluse to rest. I love being outdoors. I love being with people. The times I find most enjoyable and most restful is when my phone is out of commission. It's when I'm present and enjoying the company of the people I'm with. But how about when you're in that moment, taking a second to thank God for it? Because where there is love, joy and peace, God is present, so why not willingly bring him in? When enjoying his creation, in whatever way that would be, whether it's hiking, walking, running, swimming, surfing, you pick your activity. I find that the most restful time. Especially in this current time when churches can't meet, I find that experiencing church and communion with God is being with people. Church is not a building. It's so much more than that. It's not a sermon. It's a relationship. Firstly with God, secondly with people. So enjoy it. Take time in it to rest and to reset. Trust me, you'll thank me for it. I've started this new thing in my morning schedule. I get up 10, 15 minutes earlier, make myself a cup of coffee, and whatever I do, I don't look at my phone. And I just take that time to be still and to be present and to just focus on letting God into my day. And I found that it doesn't just help in a spiritual sense, it actually helps throughout the rest of the day. You find you approach situations a lot more calmer, a lot more reasonable. Just the rest really, really helps. I'm not saying it's a deep and meaningful experience every morning, of course it's not, but just practicing that and making yourself available for God to come in, He will be there. So what better way of welcoming God into your day than taking that time every morning? For those of you who like to read, I cannot recommend enough a book by John Mark Comer. It is called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. You might have heard of it. It's really easy to read, very short sentences, bullet points. I find it very, very easy, and I really struggle with reading. For those of you that don't like to read, suck it up. I'm joking. You can get it on audiobook or a podcast. I thoroughly recommend that you would listen to it. So a couple of things on closing. Firstly, I'd like you to write down how many times you touch your phone a day. Just guess. Please don't Google it. Let's just try and see what number you come up with and we can compare them later. And secondly, we've come up with a challenge for you to do throughout the day before we meet again at 7 o'clock. So after this talk, put your phone in airplane mode and spend your day with the people that you're planning to do so anyway. Just take the time to enjoy their company, to be present, and don't let your phone get in the way and distract you from actually being restful in their company. So we look very much to seeing you later on, and thank you for listening.